What's up, guys? My name is Josh. This is a new segment called Hot Box Thoughts, where we're gonna be getting in-depth thoughts. I'm gonna be high, and Zico's not.
What's up, everybody? It's another episode of Broken Bear Conversations, Hot Box Edition. Josh in the tent, sparking up. I'm out here sober. Before we get started, don't forget to check us out on all platforms: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere at Broken Bear Conversations. But yeah, this episode I'm really excited for. We're gonna be talking about the Apple Vision Pro.
Crazy.
Apple's new VR, AR headset. They just announced last week, and yeah, it looks crazy. Basically, they're launching their own headset. You know, the same thing like the HTC Vive or the Oculus goggles, or I think Meta, Facebook's company, Mark Zuckerberg's have their own like goggles too. I forgot what it's called. I think MetaQuest is what it's called. But this one blows all of them out the park. It
really does.
Yeah, it's crazy. Really just search up the video on YouTube, their Apple's presentation on it. It's pretty crazy, because you can it's like the next wave of technology right here for sure.
Oh, for sure. No, this shit seems like game changing, like iPhone game changing. Mm-hmm. Like how when that came out, how above everything it was, because we seen with PlayStation VR how that was. Oculus was like kind of close, similar, but even the Google glasses was trying to do another thing
back then.
Yeah, it was way back then, right? Yeah. And I remember like that excited me originally when that came out. I thought, oh my god, the future's it's gonna be this big thing, and then nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
Because I guess it's got to go through that cycle of
it was too ahead of its time. Yeah. And I think also a big difference is you gotta look at who's making it. Google versus Apple, they're a lot different. Because I would say the reason why I feel like Apple's gonna kill it with this and usher in everyone to get into VR, is because Apple has culture. Like Apple's a cool brand. Right. It's a cool company,
And it's been in the business with the culture like that with the phones since.
And Apple, anything they release, everyone wants to get it because it's the next cool piece of technology, cool Apple device, right? So the fact that they're launching their own VR headset, it's like, oh, we're finally gonna get the masses on board to this, because we really got the masses.
No, you're right. Apple, there's already a lot of different things they're trying, but none of them was ever right. And then this shit blowing the shit out of the water.
Yeah, because I bet you if like Google or Facebook had the same exact product, the Apple Vision Pro, but it was Google Vision Pro or Facebook Vision Pro, and it was the same exact thing, looked cool, good technology, and they launched it, it wouldn't have hit. Like how Apple.
You're right.
Because Apple, they got that hype, they got the culture.
You're actually right.
So that's why I'm excited. Because now everyone's going to want it because it's Apple.
You're right.
Actually,
you're actually
we already got good headsets, but they're not Apple headsets. So people, they're like, I want to get that Apple device. Even if they're not into VR or AR, it's Apple. Apple got a new device. I got to get this.
No, for sure. And it's a cool device.
It's going to be a flex too.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you know about this, but people be flexing Apple products like designer clothing, because when the AirPods came out, people were taking selfies with the AirPods on, showing them off. It's like, take a selfie, listen to music, like you're not doing this because you're listening to music. You're doing this to show off your AirPods,
No, that's true, yeah.
And then they also launched the Apple headphones. I don't know if you've seen those.
Yeah, I have.
I think they're not the most prettiest thing, but people are wearing like fit pics on Instagram, and that's part of it. Like, oh, I got Balenciaga boxers, Supreme hoodie, and I got my Apple headphones. That's part of it now.
Well, I have a funny story with that. I had some headphones I bought because I was needing some, and they're like Bluetooth, and I started wearing them, and Kat was like, "Oh, those new Apple ones?" I was like, "Apple ones? What are you talking about?" And they looked just like them. I was like, no, man, I got these at Grocery Outlet. But yeah, they look just like it.
But that shows you though, Christian's into fashion.
It's
so
true.
He would know about all these fashion stuff, including
did.
The Apple headphones. So he already got you on that.
He did. He's like, oh, because I was like, I don't flex like that, but that'd be crazy. But I was like, no, it's Grocery Outlet.
Yeah.
But
Apple got the headset, and I think it looks cool compared to all the other headsets out. all headsets.
It looks comfortable and
does.
cool, and it's not connected. Like you don't have controls. It's completely different.
You want to talk about that, how the controls work?
Yeah, so I was seeing that you can use your eyes to flip through the screen. So
That's
basically,
crazy.
if I'm in this box, I'm in it right now. I can use my eyes to flick and choose because it's the way the context, like nothing else compares. Even PS5s is supposed to be amazing, off the charts. This shit's I think is even better, which sounds
I don't
kind
think
of terrifying.
PS5 has eye tracking.
They don't have eye tracking? I thought they had that.
I'm not sure because
shit.
I know when you play the PS5 games, and we tried it, but I don't think we did the headset. But it has controllers.
Yeah.
And the controllers pick the thing.
Is that, I remember seeing. I thought I could be
I could be
wrong.
wrong.
Sometimes I do dream shit and it feels real. So, but I don't know. We have to fact check that. But I'm
Okay.
pretty sure they do have eye tracking. It's just it's compared to what I remember reading or seeing. Again, it could be a dream, so I don't know. But the eye tracking they're talking about on this fucking Apple stuff, that seems. It just seems so. It's like you don't have any issues. It's so perfect.
Yeah, maybe the PlayStation does have eye tracking, but I doubt it's at the level of Apple because in the presentation they gave, they like did like a diagram of like how many cameras are there inside the goggles to track your every eye movement. So that's very precise.
Yeah.
You know.
And I don't know how the hand movement works. I'm not sure how it detects that, but it has your hands do all the stuff.
Yeah, it basically. So on the inside of the goggles, there's hella cameras to detect your eye movement, right, and see where your eyes are looking. And at the same time, there's cameras outside of the goggles so that it can detect your environment.
Room environment, yeah.
Yeah, and it can detect your hand.
Think about this, man.
So when you want to select some shit, you just go like, which
Think
is
about
crazy.
this. I don't know if you even thought about this. If you want to work out, but you started boxing, right? You started doing that. Have the headset on. You can put an opponent there.
Oh yeah,
And you can sit and train, and like even though they're not really hitting you, but it can teach you to dodge, how to hold your hand up, and I mean, it's limitless this potential it has.
You know they have that already.
They do with headsets.
Yeah, it's not extremely advanced, but yeah, some of the headset, there's a boxing game, and you can actually do a workout.
Oh, I've seen that one,
Yeah.
but though this seems like you can,
No,
it'll
for
be in
sure.
your environment, your room, it'll be controlled. You can have a training setup. It could be with yoga, like everybody has a headset on. You're in a class now in Hawaii or some fucking
No, for
paradise.
sure. I
Because it
wouldn't-
changes your whole environment.
I wouldn't doubt it. Like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, Mike Tyson partners with them. It has a whole boxing regimen.
Sure.
That you can hop on the headset and then see actual Mike Tyson there and spar with him.
You know what? I just thought of something else too.
What?
This probably is a new job opportunity as well, because there are already people that do this with recordings on on their nice cameras or even iPhones. But you could have this headset on because now it records like how that 3-dimensional stuff and just walk around streets. And people might just put that on and just walk on their treadmill, and they'll just be using your video and they can see what you see. But
For
like
sure.
now I'm walking downtown Seattle, I'm walking downtown Rome.
For
But
sure.
you just record it. I bet you there'd be like how Google cars are driving around.
Yeah.
They'll probably pay people, hey, just walk around and tour. Go on tours.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah.
it's like educational shit. Like I want to
Yeah.
go walk around the museum.
Oh, yeah,
you just
for
be a
sure.
part of a tour. Someone's recording everything, looking at stuff, and then you're at your house on a treadmill, just looking at.
Oh
shit.
yeah, for sure. That's definitely gonna happen.
That's gonna be coming up quick.
That's why I think
Man, pay
VR is gonna
attention.
hit so hard, because like it gotta solve a problem. Like the
Yeah.
iPhone kind of solved the problem with having like a personal computer in your hand that's easy to use. Good interface and all that. Everyone can use it, right? So with this new headset, I'm pretty sure. What were we talking about?
I'm the one that's smoking here. No, we were just talking about the potential it has. How it's so many options. And I know people. I was reading some articles. People are like, "What problem is this solving? Why do we need this?" To me, I get the fear. I get that. But the problems it's solving, it's opening up jobs.
Yeah.
It's opening up opportunities for anything. Like you can have, if you open your mind to it, this can be applied to so much. Even learning, you can be one-on-one experience if you want. If I want to go watch a Nirvana concert, maybe I want to go watch him live. I can now be there probably. If there's a way to insert the video in there, you can be part of the crowd. Like I don't think people are thinking it like that.
I think with AI you can recreate stuff. Too,
Anything.
Because right now you can capture memories in it, right? Which is so cool too. The fact that
that's amazing.
right
for
now
sure.
if you want to make memory, you take photos and videos, right? It's just a 2-dimensional
Yeah.
video really, but with this headset it has cameras all over it, so you can capture an actual moment. So it's taking a photo, you're really like taking a memory.
No, for
And then
sure.
you can put the goggle on. Like imagine if I had it now, right? And I just snapped the memory of this room. Then like 2 weeks from now I could put it on again and actually enter this room, because it's VR. And I can
Yeah.
actually look around and hear everything, And then that's just amazing. It's
This is
like,
gonna take virtual tours to a whole new level.
yeah.
Just like if I want to do a tour around the apartment, like, oh, put this headset on and you're in the apartment. You can look around, you can visually see what they see, take your time looking at it, all at your fucking house.
I know.
It's gonna suck because it will change things because now if you're already introverted, what reason do you have to go outside?
I know, but
seriously, what reason do you have to go outside if you can see everything so fucking clear and perfect?
I think about that too. I think about how is this gonna change like human interaction and social webs, right? Different. And I'm like, if you think about it, this is just kind of compounding or exponentially, growing what is already happening. Because we do have introverts now who don't like to go outside, and they just stay home all day. Because you got Uber Eats now. You don't have to get food. You can just get it delivered to you.
I tell you right now, this apartment, the people you don't have to leave, man.
Exactly.
You get so much stuff delivered.
And get your food delivered through Uber Eats.
Right to your fucking door.
And then you got Amazon that literally has anything you ever need. Yeah. Clothes, groceries, common household stuff,
Like so we already there.
Yeah.
And now it's just going to make it easier for them to really enjoy it.
Yeah. So people are already doing that now, right, without VR.
Yeah.
And then they're making friends online. There's a lot of introverts that don't have friends in real life, No, they don't like to go out, so they just make friends online, Like in video games, there's like, like COD groups out there, Call of Duty groups of people that never met, but they're like best friends through Call of Duty.
No, that's true.
There's like a story.
Find their soulmates in a sense.
Exactly, man. I remember I told you about my friend. He met his girlfriend through a video game. Remember that?
I remember you saying that.
Let me tell that real quick again, because that story's still insane. But I have a friend who played this game called Genshin Impact. It's basically Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild anime version. They just stole everything, honestly.
Oh, shit.
It's really just that, yeah. But that's why I got so successful, because it's anime Breath of the Wild. But anyway, he played that game, and then you join different servers, you meet different people online, and then he started getting close to this one character, and it turned out to be a girl in real life, and then they just started talking and playing this game together. And then they had like a whole group of friends that played that game together online, They never met in real life. They just met through this video game and started playing it, And then they became like real life friends. And then eventually he's like, you know what? I want to meet you guys. So then my friend, who never met any of these people in person in real life, he just knows these people through a video game. He decided to buy a plane ticket. He decided to buy a plane ticket to California to go meet them. And this is also his first time ever traveling and leaving the state by plane, So he's first time leaving to go meet people that he met online.
Damn,
and he met with them, and they're actually real people, and they're not murderers. They didn't kill him and rob him or anything like. They was just real people, and one of them was a girl, and he actually liked her a lot, and they started dating, and they're still together to this day. That's like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, that's fucking crazy, man.
I mean.
So right now, I'm just saying that to say that even without VR, people are still introverted and making friends online. So imagine add VR to that, how much exponentially is that gonna grow? Because now you don't gotta fucking go out anywhere. You can just get the VR goggles, and then we're gonna have this like metaverse where you can just walk to a park. You're like, hey Josh, meet me at this park, man. We don't gotta drive together. We just just wear your headset, and I can literally see you and shit.
It's like you probably even work environments. Like we would probably be doing the same stuff, but we're controlling machines. Like we're still doing it, just now it's linked where we could be anywhere and just be at work, or like, oh, I gotta have a meeting. You're in the meeting and you're there and you're just interacting, and then you go back and you can still do your other stuff, but you still be in the meeting, but you're still interacting in the world, which is kind of weird to think about how that. Because it's going to be the norm. Just like how everyone has a cell phone, I'm sure people would, I don't need that. But guess what? Everyone has an iPhone now. Everyone has all these.
Homeless people got iPhones.
They do, man.
Everyone has an iPhone.
Man, why is a homeless dude down the street has a QR code?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
To beg for money?
Yeah, he begged for money. Yeah, it's it. At me. Dude, that's it. I was like, that's genius.
That is next level homeless.
Hey, man.
That's like, next level homeless.
He's like, I got cash. He's like, all right, man, I got a QR code. I was like, oh,
homeless, shit. I would do that. And also, if I already had an iPhone with internet access, make like a TikTok account and just vlog my homeless life.
100%.
Hey guys, I'm on the street. Here's my QR code. Support me.
Yeah.
Easily.
Someone would probably make money.
Hell yeah.
But some of them
donate.
I mean, I'm sure some do. Because some have cash.
Oh.
It's crazy.
Homeless, you can make a living,
No, they do.
You know,
I'm like, do you have more money than me? I'm gonna try and give him some chance. Like, I was like, oh shit, man.
You
I was
need-
like,
you
you
need
still
money,
have
man.
it, but gosh, I was like,
yeah, cause if you think about it, in like a typical day, you make like, I'm gonna just throw a random number. You can make like $160 working a job, right? In one day, hourly wage, whatever, right?
yeah.
Dude, you can easily go on the street and beg for money and make more than $160 a day if you're good, you know.
Yeah, so you get lucky, man. I found that money. I found $20 bill just sitting there before on the ground.
Yeah.
I was like, you can just get lucky like that. So if you're just naturally outside, how often do they just accidentally find money?
Yeah.
You know?
But not to derail
No,
too
not to
much from
derail,
the original
yeah.
topic, but going back to what you said about work,
Yeah,
that's gonna happen because if you in like office jobs,
I feel like it's easier to.
they're already
that way,
doing Zooms, you know. For a lot of the meetings, people work from home. do
already.
Zooms.
Yeah, after COVID, it just now it become a norm. People working from home.
Yeah.
They realize, oh, it's possible.
So instead of doing Zooms, everyone could just wear their Apple headset, and you can literally be at home in your pajamas by having you living in the metaverse, and you have a whole
And
suit
hey,
on.
Think of it this way now. When this gets become a norm, all these office buildings become apartments now. They get converted.
I think that's good.
Yeah,
because I think
now
there's a housing crisis.
Yeah, and that will open up stuff. Maybe rent will become cheaper because there's more options.
So.
Look at that. That seems very possible.
I hope we go to an age where we don't have to have offices
For,
and
yeah,
we could
for
just
what?
work from home. So it's a double benefit of you don't have to leave your home. You can just work from the comfort of your home. And like you said, it's gonna free up all this real estate
It
that we can
would.
use for homes or businesses or more productive stuff. You know,
there's
how many pointless
so-
offices are there?
There's so many, and it's like I know, like even our company, a lot of people can just work from home. They just have to be there because I know they told them like for moral support they need them there. I'm like,
I get it kind of though, you know.
but yeah, like even the art stuff.
Yeah.
Why do they don't need to be there? They're just at the computers all day.
Yeah.
They all could be home. It's just like these. It's the only space that needs to be there is for the production people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But again, I know eventually it's robots can do that. It's so easy. Robots can easily do that, and then that's it. Then once that happens, I feel like that shift that we're talking about. I don't know when this is gonna happen, but I'm sure. I think Elon Musk said 2050. It's gonna be all robots, or whatever.
Mhm.
But I just feel like this is the start of where this age starts happening. I look at things now like how the 1900s, like what they were experiencing, cars, planes, all that stuff started happening, TV, radio, all these things were just popping off, boom, boom, like they just were like a virus, but it was just spreading everywhere. And it's differently. It's kind of, I don't know, it's weird because the internet, I think people are saying the same thing. It's gonna make people more introverted. They're not gonna want to leave their home, because it makes you more connected in a different way. And it opened up the world.
Mm-hmm.
This will make you more connected in a different way. But I just look at it as like you said, you having kids, imagine being able to just like, you know what, I'm gonna see how my grandpa enjoyed his day. And you just did that, what you did on your weekend with your girlfriend or your wife at the time, what y'all experienced. And just imagine seeing that. That sounds amazing.
That'd be cool. Yeah, but I would say, at least with the current equipment now, it is a little weird to like imagining you're at a family gathering with like family and kids, and you got the dad with the fucking big ass. He's like, "Hey, let me make a memory," and it's not even like holding it; it's like like that, So I think there's gonna be an adjustment period. Maybe right now it might be a little weird, but as time goes on, it's like a contact lens.
No, but it looks so weird. It'll
like,
eventually be that, yeah.
But right now, like, let's smile.
Dude, that was my first thought. I looked at it because I'm like, people are going to look back on this and like, they wore goggles. Like, that's how weird it's going to be. It has to be.
It's like us now with iPhones looking back at people with that rotoscope.
Yeah, no, they're like,
they had a
what
wire.
were they holding? That was their phone.
Yeah.
In their hand? Because it's going to be it's going to be like a contact lens.
Yeah.
That's going to be everything.
Or like TVs, how they're so thin and flat screen.
Yeah.
And you can look back to like 2000s, 90s, how they all have like the huge backs that heat up, like if you use it for too long, you can put your hand on it and feel the heat off the TV,
Yeah, no.
So it's like, wow, we had TVs that big. Now we have 4K.
I don't even think TVs are going to exist anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. This might replace a lot of things.
A lot,
for
man.
sure. Down the line, this is going to be the replacement for both the iPhone and their Macs. Because it's a computer on your face. Why do you need an iPhone if you have this that has all the apps?
Next thing's going to come out and make contact lens, man.
Yeah.
As soon as that comes out, my God, this world's gone. We done with shit.
I'm wondering, though, privacy-wise, it's going to be a little weird that you can walk around and take a photo of anybody. It
No,
got a contact lens on.
That already exists now.
True.
That already exists now.
It's going to be easier.
It's going to be a lot easier. Just like it's just like how things are. I know that's what people worry about, and I'm like, we're not gonna. Only privacy you're gonna have is your home, and that's it. And it's why it's like, I'm thankful we're in a time now where we can really get a proper, great home. I don't know what the future's gonna be like, but I can at least guarantee I can get some good property now and hold on to it, because I just think how fast things are gonna change. But I don't know, man. That seems crazy.
Speaking of the home and stuff, people that can get a great home, my mind goes to like these sad moments. I'm like, dude, we're gonna have people that are living in these shitty studio apartments with rats all over, cockroaches, holes in the wall, but they're gonna put on this headset. Paradise. I'm like,
yeah, paradise.
That seems a little dystopian, you know.
You've seen Ready Player One, right?
I haven't, but you're not the first person that told me to watch it, because a lot of the things I talk about, they're like, yeah, this is Ready Player One.
Yeah, it's in it.
So I should watch it.
Because it takes place in 2050. And if you look at our world, like if you look at our world right now, right, and see how it is, and it's too easy to picture that world.
So did you watch it, compare it?
So I read the book first.
Okay.
And the books I've read, it's great. It's a great book. And it goes way more in depth. The story is very different than the movie. The movie's similar, then it shifts. It's pretty much different how they get the key and all that stuff and all the things. But a lot of it that was similar, it was great. I liked how people can have their own avatars, which I feel like that's one good thing. You can be whoever the fuck you want and whatever you want, which is, how cool is that? And you can reinvent yourself as much as you need. But again, how much are you doing in your internal self? Probably nothing. That's what we might lose. And people I think I've already kind of lost that. But this can also be helpful in so many different ways. Just as for therapy, how much more accessible now? You don't have to leave your house.
Yeah, you can just enter a therapy room.
And you're in a room.
Imagine, it's not even a human therapist, it's an AI therapist.
I mean, AI is already, I was like on this app where it teaches you to breathe differently. I'm like, is this how AI looks? That thing looks terrifyingly real. I'm like, it's like an app where it teaches you how to breathe, and it's like an AI that gets adjusted for you. It's like
it looks like a human?
Yeah, it looks like a human. It's like in a yoga outfit and stuff like that. And I'm like looking.
Is it just the face, or is it the whole body?
It's a whole body.
Really?
They're all interacting. I'm like, this is a human, AI. Right? I'm like, no, they said it's AI. I'm like, I'm looking. I'm That's like, crazy. I'm so confused because it feels so natural. I'm like, if this is anything what AI is supposed to look like, if you put these headsets on, yeah, you could have it could be so natural, because your house could be blank and bare, and then you put this headset on, your house is all set up and decorated. NFTs. You can have them all over your home, and they're on there. That means when people come in your house, they see that one NFT that you only have.
Yeah, when I
sounds crazy.
When I heard about all this, and my mind also went to, how could I profit off of this? I'm like, I could make NFTs of podcast clips or something.
I don't know, but that's something I'm thinking about too.
I'm like, I can make money off of this shit.
I will say,
I'm not trying to be greedy. We gotta survive somehow.
Yeah, okay. No. Just I think this is the time to think. I look at shit, like really look at things. Like I said, think of this world like it's like the early 1900s. We are in the 1920s right now.
That's how I think.
And see how stuff is changing for them. Like what happened in the 50s, what they saw, which is they're already trying to go super futuristic in the 50s, and then in the 60s world changed, in the 70s the music, how all this stuff shifted, and then like the 80s was like nuts. I just think of all the stuff they're seeing. And I'm like looking now at how internet already changed stuff, and you see how stuff's getting a little faster as it evolved, a little faster. That's what's gonna happen. It's a cycle. It's gonna get boom, boom. Yeah, it's like something's tightening, like a screw's going in, and it's like, and then where it's gonna explode. But if we're paying attention, we can hop on this shit and enjoy this motherfucking ride.
Yeah.
Because it's just gonna explode, a bigger thing after a bigger thing. It's just gonna get bigger.
I agree. I will say something that opened my eyes to repeating cycles in life is crypto, because crypto operates on a 4-year cycle. Every 4 years, for example, Bitcoin, the amount of supply being made per day gets halved. And that happens every 4 years. And every 4 years when that happens, it causes the whole crypto market to go up, because supply and demand,
Yeah.
There's a huge demand for Bitcoin. But if the supply gets cut, it's going to cause the price to go up, because the demand still stays the same, or if anything, it goes up. But there's less of them, so price goes up, And that made me look at a lot of things in life. Yeah. And I looked at fashion. We talked about this before, how for example, in the 2000s, everything was very wide and baggy. In 2010s came, everything got skinny jeans, very tight clothing. and now we're at the 2020s. For some reason, we're back to baggy white clothes again, right? So things repeat.
My childhood's come back. Yeah.
And I looked at technology, and we talked about this too. And you mentioned how like they had TV and radio when you said 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
That came out, right? And that was that wave. And after that, I would say there was like the internet and like YouTube and all this 2010, right? And that people were like, oh no, this is gonna replace TV and radio and all this, which it did. Yeah. You know, but now it's like TV and radio is now online. We got podcasts, basically just radio talk shows, you know, and all that. And that's another cycle that happens there where technology keeps evolving and people deny it until we all accept it, you know?
There's so many comments already. Yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, now I see this next thing happening again where we have this new piece of technology and you have people that are afraid of it, want to be against it, and you have people that are like, oh, this is the future, you know?
Yeah.
And if you play it smart, you can just adopt it early and make it work for you, you know? Or you can just deny it until a few years later when you eventually accept it. Because eventually the world always accepts it. It just takes longer for some people. And some people that are ahead of the curve or just that are present and more open-minded, they're already on it before you, you know? So, yeah.
No, I agree, man. I think it was like, you see it. Like when I started paying attention to cycles and patterns, you can really see how the stuff starts flowing. It's like, and again, that will help you learn how to think for the future. If people struggle with that, start looking for these little cycles and patterns in life, especially if you put yourself as if you're living back in the, you know, the early 1900s and what they were seeing as stuff was evolving, because it's going to be similar but very different. And let's hope to God there's no wars because, you know, we don't want those cycles to repeat, because then, you know,
I
don't think it fucking matters anymore if there's a war that breaks out.
That's another cycle that's happening. You know, China just bought like land in Cuba to like nearby Florida, basically.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh shit. I know that's a tangent, but
I just you know, we don't know the future. It's like, again, we should just enjoy every day.
Yeah.
But for sure, just like we don't know, like it's scary to think of we can know anything that's going on. So just really live life. Just enjoy really live life. I mean, don't get so stressed out. Go on vacations if you can. Just truly enjoy shit. It's just stuff. Yeah, we can't predict the future, but we can try. We can. All we do is love, and then again, don't be afraid of technology.
Don't be afraid of it. I'm a little afraid, to be honest. Come on, man. All this AI.
Yeah, I mean,
this VR stuff. I'm like, oh shit, it's awesome, but I'm like, it could go bad, man. But I hope it goes well. I hope it goes well.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like, it's a little scary that we have a company like Apple that owns this piece of advice. Like, oh, they kind of have a good sharehold on that.
And look, and I get everybody's fear. I'm terrified as well. And all I can do, I'm a little person. I know, and this is a big motherfucking world.
Yeah.
If I had a lot money and I could change, I would 100% try.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm just me.
Yeah.
But all I can do is put love in the world. That's it. And that's the only thing I know how to do that has that can do a change. And if I keep putting love in the world, and that's it, then I'm gonna die happy no matter what.
I feel it's also good to do podcasts too. Yeah. Because like you're having a conversation about this and putting it out onto social media platforms, and now people are seeing this and starting their own conversations. Or for anything, they might not even know about all this shit, and you're just like kind of informing them.
Yeah, no,
so that's why I feel good.
I think it's important people should know stuff because I don't research enough. I try to really research different things, but the world is big. There's so many different things to do,
going on.
And it's just important to learn different things. And everyone's going through different shit in their lives, so yeah, I think it's important people talk about that. And I think people, I don't know, I think people look for realness and honesty, and I think there's not enough of that in the world, but I think we should also be aware there is changing going on. I think a lot of people are not sure what's all happening. Because I think
embrace change.
Yeah, the fucking world's scary. But I think if we are more aware, we can learn how to control the shit in our lives a little better. And
but before we end this, I want to ask you one last question. I want to get your perspective on this because you've been through so many. You know, you're older.
So many little booms.
You're older than me, so you've seen a lot of changes happening in the world. And every time you see these big things
I do have a story on that. Just remember, just tell me grandpa. But yeah, keep going.
I want to hear your story.
No, I want, but
okay, fine.
Where you going?
Okay, what I was going with is that you've seen so many changes happen, right? And I would say that I want to ask two questions. One, when the previous changes happened, you know, like with the internet, iPhone coming out, radio, TV, whatever big things happened in your life, how did you feel then when it happened? And two, how do you feel now Cause I feel like you had a change in
like when the internet and then iPhone.
Yeah, the reason why I asked that is because I feel like in the past you were kind of not embracing these new things, and if anything, anti these things. Like you hated them, you know.
In a sense, yeah.
And now you seem like you're excited for this new Apple device. So I want to first hear.
So I definitely have reasons on it. But yeah. So on the internet, because I grew up and I was around 12, like I guess I was probably like 99, and we got a computer, and it was like, I think we had it for a little bit, but internet was there, but we couldn't really do much on it. I would try to use it, and it's like, it took forever to search anything. I'm like, I'm impatient, you know, so it's like, I would leave, and I'm not worried about it. But my brother would always be on the computer, so he would hog it when I want to use it. Oh, I can't. He'd be chat rooms, you know, playing games, doing stuff like that. So he really explored that. So I'll just go play outside. So I just went outside and just did shit. And I have ADHD, so I'm active, and who knows what the fuck I was doing. But so that I kind of missed that for a bit, and then I started getting into music. And then that's when I kind of got more into YouTube and stuff like that. And I started exploring YouTube, and I liked Google because I could use that to search stuff and when I was curious and on anything. So that's basically all I use it for, is to answer questions that I might have, and didn't really ever explore it. And then YouTube just for like music and, you know, just watching videos, I guess, stuff like that. Because YouTube there wasn't much on there, but I didn't think, because I think I was still going through like a little. I think most of my life I was going through a survival mode, unfortunately. So I was like, I feel like I didn't really know much how to heal myself. But music did help me escape to that. And I really embraced music. So that's where I kind of got lost. So every time I used the internet, it was just to learn more about how to play an instrument.
Okay, so you were basically touching its surface, but you weren't diving in.
No. And then when I got home, because I also worked, because I used to work at the post office from 19, so I got there very young. So working, I think, like a 12-hour shift for like 5 years, basically, you know, almost 6 days a week.
God damn.
Yeah, I worked like shit ton. I mean, I made a lot of money, but I didn't save that much. I owned all my stuff. I didn't have any debt, and I had, I bought a car, so I spent it on stuff that I could use. But I wish I was more wise with it, of course. And so I didn't really have time to explore. Everyone else was doing stuff. I was being an adult, you know, and then my energy was gone. Like, I talk right now so much, I didn't fucking say a word at work. That's how it kind of like affected me. But I think that's why I kind of missed that boom. But when iPhone came out, I embraced it, but I used it for music. That's how I explored it. Oh, I can use this. I use it as a tool for my art or my music, and then I like that I could have all my iPod on there. So I was like, great. Now I don't have to have all this other stuff. So I just had like thousands and thousands of songs that I purchased and owned on there.
I see.
Yeah. So I kind of use it that way. I never explored it, but now my news perspective, I'm aware of technology, and then now I finally caught up to where I wanted it to be for like 10 years. Like when I was ready for it, it wasn't quite here. Like I was wanting it to be more of this accessible, like more futuristic, and it's like that's how I kind of thought it might be in the 2010s, you know? And it wasn't. Like when people thought of like, what did you think the 2010s would be like? We thought, oh my god, it was gonna be so futuristic. It wasn't. You know, it was the same shit.
Movies, because like Back to the Future, predicted a lot of crazy stuff would happen. Yeah. When did it say 2010?
Yeah.
When did the movie take place?
It was 1980. It was like 2010, I think, or 20.
But when did the future part? It was 2010.
Oh, yeah, I think it was 2010. I believe.
Yeah, so they thought that by 2010 we would have like flying shit everywhere.
It may have been 2015.
Still, 2015. They thought we would have like hoverboards, all types of stuff. So
and that's what I mean. I had expectations like that too. Like I was excited for futuristic shit. Not much was different for right kind of around this time.
You got to think about practicality though. Like, why would we have hoverboards?
I don't know.
But I would say these goggles are very practical. So this is a real thing that's.
And again, this is where I was like, it's fine because I remember being on a treadmill. I'm like, why don't we have something where I can just be in Rome right now walking? You know,
they do have treadmill with screens that you can like on a path, but that's whatever.
I know.
But with these goggles, you don't need a screen. You're in it.
That's what I mean. It was like, because even as a kid in the 90s, we had virtual reality. So we really had these high expectations because that was like 80s boom. They just kind of set this, that was in the 80s when all this shit was booming. So we thought, this is 1990, so what would we think 20 years from now would be like?
I would say if you really think about it, you can't just jump into.
You can't.
Even if they have the technology, you can't just jump into VR. You have to establish a whole bunch of stuff. So we need, just computers.
No, you're right.
Have to know how to work computers, and you have to establish the internet, make sure that works, and everyone knows how to operate. And we all have a good understanding of internet, social media, operating computers. Even their everyday jobs, we have computers. So we're all used to it. So now you can go to VR.
Yeah.
I don't think they did it consciously like that. I think just that's how the world operates, whatever way it does, But I think it worked out in that way. Now we're ready for this.
No, I think now I feel like I'm in the mindset. I'm also I think when you go through things in life and you got to catch up to shit. I feel like when I don't know, something has to happen. I don't know where you can click in, but now I feel like I've finally clicked in on shit, and I'm aware of more things around me that I can actually invest into and change if I wanted to. So I think that helps. I don't know how people get to that mindset.
But going back to the question.
Oh yeah.
When all that technology happened, those years ago, how did you feel about it? Did you like it or did you not like it, or were you whatever about it? And answer that first, actually.
Oh yeah.
And I'll tell you the second one.
So, how I felt about, I was kind of like.
Were you scared?
Distant. No, not really scared.
Okay.
I just don't think I paid much attention at the time. I was learning a lot of instruments, and I think how much time that takes up. I mean, I learned to play at least 5 instruments. I forgot a couple of them now, but at one point I played a lot, so I think that is all I cared about. So I think I didn't really pay much attention back then.
Okay.
But eventually I was like, I was excited for it. Like I started like with iPhones, how it started getting more developed. I liked how I think accessible different things were, like how Uber Eats and shit like that started happening. I was like, that's really cool. I didn't think, let's invest. I was like, cool. Now we can actually get stuff delivered. But I never would spend money on that. I don't like doing that on myself.
Mm-hmm.
But so I kind of still distant. It was like I still like doing things on my own.
Okay, so I was like whatever.
Yeah, it just was like I didn't really think about. I don't know why. I just kind of like I think it finally caught up to my expectations when I started exploring.
Even though it was whatever. Did you feel the impact when these things came out? Like when the iPhone came out, did you feel like, oh shit, this is gonna change the world? Or were you just not really paying attention?
So I did, because I was like, I didn't think of how it affected. I was just like, I was blown away of what it could do. I was just like, I didn't really think much about it. I was like, how old was I when this happened?
The iPhone?
Yeah. 2008, so I was like,
yeah.
I don't know how old I was, 20 something.
Okay.
But definitely not paying attention. I mean, I don't know where my head was at half the time. Because it should have blown my mind, but it's just like, I was like, wow. But
I'm asking also because I'm trying to put myself.
Yeah.
Like, when the iPhone came out, it was cool, but I was very young, so I didn't really understand everything, right? But I'm like, if I was more older and aware, would I have seen the iPhone and been like, oh shit, this is going to change the world? And would I have this feeling of like, this is going to be impactful, right? Because now that I am older and paying attention to stuff, I saw the Apple Vision Pro and I'm like, oh shit, this is going to change the world.
Yeah.
I had this feeling of like, this is going to be a huge impact.
See, I didn't have that.
I'm like, you lived through that. So I'm like, I just wanted you to compare.
I don't remember anybody even saying anything like that. That's what's weird. It's also part of the circles you're around.
I was going to say, give context. He grew up in a small town, so I'm not sure.
I grew up in a small town.
If his, what he's saying applies to most of the world.
No.
I think people felt it was crazy.
Yeah. Well, I will say, so Ashley's grandpa, she was telling me a story that when they got the first iPhone, they were looking at it. And when she was just scrolling around, messing around, just looking at different apps. And when her grandpa came over, he was looking at that, and he could not understand what he was seeing because it looked so futuristic. And he looked at her in all seriousness. He was like, "How much did that cost?" He's like, "It's like $1 million." And he would spend money on that on some stuff. Actually, his grandpa had some money, but he just could not comprehend, and he just thought. That technology, it had to have been at least, I don't know, $1 million at least, because to him, that's beyond anything. And that kind of gave me that perspective, was like, okay, to him, I get how that could be, because what he saw, like he was, in his 80s, what he probably saw, that is mind-boggling, what it could do. Because it would, so I kind of got that perspective, oh wow, it was. to me back then, no, it didn't seem, because everything was kind of new, everything was blowing up, everything was just one upping each other so much. And then I was like, the iPhone came out, I was like, boom, I was like, oh shit, they're so much better. But I didn't like think anything else. It was just like everything was just like that, and then stuff just kind of got stagnant for a bit after that.
I see.
So I don't know. It's like I should have been like that, because I don't think people were, but it could just be the small town shit.
I think it might be the small town.
Yeah.
I think there's people that saw the impact.
That's unfortunate. Like I'm really thinking, like, no, I don't remember anybody like being like, wow.
Yeah, because I'm like, damn. I would compare, because if I was around during that time in a way, right now I would compare like, oh, is this that same feeling I got when I saw the iPhone? You know what I mean? Because that's how I am with crypto. Because I've been through a cycle in crypto of things going up and down, and I'm like, I've seen it go up and then crash and then go up, right? So now you have a feeling now. I'm like, oh, I've seen this before, of it taking this dip and repeating the same pattern, and it's about to explode again. So comparing that to technology, I'm like, okay, now I see that there's this need for VR goggles, there's a demand for it, but right now the market's not really having this like iconic revolutionary goggle that everyone wants, you know? And then I'm like, and then the Apple Vision Pro came out, and I'm like, oh shit, this is it. So I'm like, if I was there to see the iPhone came out, and around that time, you know, everyone had Blackberries and stuff, and then when the iPhone came out, if I saw that and had that same feeling, I'm like, oh shit, we're repeating it again with the Apple Vision Pro.
You know, it's definitely repeating it again. Okay. I just wish I was paying attention. I know I wasn't. I don't know anybody, but I never even thought to search in there. I was like, oh, cool. It just does this cool shit.
Yeah.
That's all I was thinking about how excited that was it. But I also never owned computers before that. I never owned a computer before. So this was, to me, I would have been blown away if I owned a computer. So it's like, you would have been blown away playing Pong. No, it's like, I think I just played some, again, I was like, I don't fucking know. Like, I just tried to think, what the fuck was I doing? You know? But
I guess you're just on autopilot.
No, I really feel like I was on autopilot, but I was learning a lot of stuff outside of that. Yeah. I was learning a lot of different things, I was getting a lot of stuff absorbed.
Well, speaking of learning and also music, how you use, like, you just had the iPhone just to use music.
I still use it.
It would be cool. I bet you this is gonna happen. They're gonna have GarageBand for the Vision Pro, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna be able to play shit with your hands. Like, imagine having a fake guitar and you can actually strum the strings.
No.
How crazy that would be.
Again, I'm aware. Again, if you start reading that book, if you like reading, read the book. I'll give you the book right now.
Yeah, you can give it to me. I'll read it.
It's the book's even better. Then watch the movie. Read the book, then watch the movie. Okay. Or actually, I don't know.
I'm gonna do both. You like. I'm gonna do both because I want to actually see visually what.
If you watch the movie first, you'll enjoy the book better.
Really?
Yeah. If you watch the book, if you read the book, you're gonna hate the fucking movie.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's smart. Yeah. Read. Look at the shittier version.
Yeah.
Look at the original.
Because the movie's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's very similar in lots of ways. It's just that you'll see where it drifts in the book.
I know how it is.
Yeah.
They cut some stuff off.
I mean, they changed the whole shit.
Okay, they changed it.
They changed quite a bit of the story.
Okay, I hate when they do that. Yeah. They do that in anime sometimes. Yeah. And I'm a huge anime.
The only thing I would say, the book, it's about a race.
Okay.
Like in the book, it's about a contest. So the movie's about a race.
Wait, race?
Sorry, the movie's about a race. Yeah, like a race, like a driving race.
I thought you meant like ethnicity for a second.
No, no. It's about like a driving race.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then the book is about like finding these 3 keys.
Okay, that's a whole different.
Yeah, and they could have made these movies 3 movies, like 1 key each, and it would have been fucking great. I don't know why they. I'm so mad they didn't.
But yeah, I'll check it out and see what happens.
But no, definitely watch the movie, and then I think it's on HBO maybe. But I'll give you the book. Yeah, just bring it back.
Okay.
And then whenever you read it.
Well, anyway, that's our thoughts on the Apple Vision Pro. It's crazy. Go search up on YouTube Apple Vision Pro. You can see what we're talking about. But anyway, this is Hotbox Thoughts. Did you finish your joint?
I finished half of it.
Okay, just wondering your status in there.
Yeah, but I'm high as fuck.
All right, you've been in there for about 43 minutes.
Oh shit!
And also, it's also 1:19.
Oh shit!
So we gotta go because we have a guest coming.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching. Josh really just freaked out. It's whatever.
All right, we gotta go.
Check out our next episode.
Bye bye.